West ignore its role in Iraq and in Afghanistan and in Syria in creating the crises of those lands. In my own lifetime when I was a child, Iraq was, and we're not talking about the dictator, we're talking about the people. The people of Iraq were one of the most well-off GDP-wise. Their education and their health care rivaled some countries in Europe. This is in my own lifetime when I was a child. Do you think this chaos came out of nowhere? How arrogant for the West to ignore their own role. 35 years of brutal sanctions, 35 years of bombing, 35 years of false invasions, and not even an apology. And then you have the audacity to say those people are violent, those people don't deserve any sympathy, while you ignore your own role in creating that violence and creating that civil war. Those Ukrainians who are standing up and fighting Russian oppression are being portrayed. Look at how those people are being portrayed as freedom fighters. Look at the valorization of the underground resistant movement. SubhanAllah, CNN on its front page had an in-depth story of the life and bravery of a Ukrainian soldier who blew himself up to prevent Russians from crossing a particular bridge. He is viewed as a martyr for a noble cause. In any other circumstance, this would have been a suicide bomber who is a religious fanatic. But all of a sudden, the same incident and the same reality is portrayed in a different manner. BBC on its front page, and I could not believe this, I saw this with my own eyes, was reporting with glee, with happiness, that British citizens are coming to the Ukrainian embassy wanting to fight and wanting to volunteer. And the interviewer says, "Are you Ukrainian?" "No, I'm not Ukrainian." "Why are you going?" "I want to fight for justice." Subhanallah. So when it is Russia that is invading, you want your own citizens to go and defend. But when it is a Western power, then when your citizens do this, then you go and you jail them and you call them terrorists. We have to be fair here. We have to be consistent in what we say is freedom and what we say is justice. Just because the invaders happen to be us, all of a sudden everything changes? No. While they valorize the plight of those who are suffering under Russia, the Ukrainians are fighting against those who invaded them. They are freedom fighters. When the Palestinians stand up and fight against oppression for 70 years, they become the aggressors. They become the violent people. What is going on? This is the perfect time, brothers and sisters, the perfect time for every one of you to become a small ambassador amongst your circle of family and friends, amongst your colleagues, with wisdom. I keep on saying, because it's a very sensitive topic. We are not justifying terrorism, but who gets to define terrorism? And why is one act considered terrorism, not the other? These are the questions we're asking. These are the questions we want the broader society to begin think about. Just because Russia, that is a rival of America, invades, all of a sudden, anybody who opposes them, we paint them in a certain way. When we do the same actions, anybody who opposes our land, we treat in a different manner. And I keep on telling us, if we're not going to point out the double standards now, when are we going to do this?